Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we are taking an adventure through the 15th Maelstrom. Now, if you're not familiar with what Maelstroms are, they're essentially just giant whirlpools, and I'm sure you've seen them in movies and cartoons. They are this dramatic, almost like hurricane-like thing in water, or a tornado-like thing in water that just swallows ships whole. Now, I think in real life, I don't think I've ever seen one, but certainly they are nothing as dramatic as seen in the movies, but still probably as lethal. So hopefully I will never come across one in real life. But we are looking at one today in our Sudoku puzzle. So we have Head into the Maelstrom by Willpower, one of the regular constructors featured on this channel. And once again, what a fabulous drawing of what it could be. You've got essentially just like this giant whirlpool in the middle. You know, it's rotating. You can imagine sort of that red section is sort of ships being swallowed into it. And you still have some rapids and kind of other whirlpools around the edges that will still be sort of very difficult for a ship to navigate. Well, let's take a look at the rule sets that we have today. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. That's not a 3x3 box, that's a 3x3 box. Now, number on all lines, sum to 15. So, you know, that's a line here, that's a line there. The orange ones are fairly obvious, but helpfully, Will gives us a bit more information. The 4 straight lines of length 3 crossing in the middle of the puzzle are all to be considered separate from one another when calculating their sum. So essentially these red ones that are in the middle, they're separate from the blue ones that are continuing it, and they are clearly all straight lines. So this is a line that adds up to 15, this is another line that adds up to 15, and so on and so forth. Now, numbers in cages sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, you know, standard killer cage rules. So you can see these dashed lines are outlining groups of cells, such as these two that must add up to the 9 that you can see in the top left corner, or these two that add up to 3. Now, numbers with a V between them sum to 5. And you've got these two cells, for example, add up to 5. I'm in the wrong mode, so you know, if that's a 1, for example, that would have to be a 4 to add up to 5. If that's a 2, that would have to be a 3 to add up to 5. Not all possible V's are given. Now, last clue we have is orange cells are all the same number. So you can see we've got these orange cells peppered throughout the puzzle, and this digit, whatever it is, it's essentially placed in almost every square except the middle one, is the same digit. Well, that's plenty of rules, although Will thinks it's plenty of rules for us to solve it with 0 digits in the grid. Now, if you are a seafaring solver, a sleuth of your own that doesn't get scared from the idea of sailing through a whirlpool, you've got a link in the description down below to play along. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, what immediately caught my attention is this incredible center where all the diagonals, well, everything that's going through the center is essentially adding up to 15. If you've seen my tutorial on magic squares, and I'll do my best to remember to add it as a card up here somewhere, there's only one way of being able to do so. That means there has to be a 5 in the middle. The tutorial explains that far better than I'm going to give this a go. But essentially it just means that there is no way you're going to be able to make 4 different lines that are all going through the center add up to 15 without having 5 in the middle. We can continue though. Oh, other things that are part of a magic square. Is this true here? I was going to say the other thing about magic squares is the polarity around the edges is it has to be 2 evens and an odd. But because these rows are not adding to 15, or this one, or this one, or this one, this doesn't have to be true. But what I do know is this is 1 or 2, and there, because it has to add up to 3, this is 3 or 4 because it has to be on a V. That's got to be 1 or 2. 3 or 4 will either be a 5, which it isn't, that's a 3, and a 6 to add up to 9, and we've got our start of digits here. I mean, I've already placed a 5 instantly, so, you know, in under a minute we already had the digits, but lots of different digits now. This still could be either or, so we're going to have to continue, unfortunately. Not making any assumptions. This is now not 6, this is 7, 8, or 9. This is 6, 7, or 8. In fact, we've got essentially another set that add up to 15 in here because we already placed everything else. What else do we know? Now, I did say that we actually have orange cells in every box except the center one, but let's use these to determine which box in the center is meant to be orange. It's the 5. So we get a lot more than we bargained for here. These are all 5s. And therefore, every single one of these has to add up to 10. We also have more 1, 2, 3s and 4s in here. We probably can guess what this is. So this has to add up to 9 because we've got a 6 on here. So if it's a 4, that would be a 5, not possible. If it's a 3, this would have to be, well, this would be a 9. This would have to be another 6. We've already put a 6, so that's not possible. So that's 1, 2. We've got a 1, 2 pair in here. Therefore, this is 3 or 4. I really feel like I should be able to do better. If that's 1, that would be 8. If that's 2, that would be 7, all of which is seemingly allowed. 5, well, no. 1 in here would make this add up to 14. And since 5 is not available, this would be 6, 8. If that's 2, this would have to add up to 13. And this could be 9, 4. Yeah, this is not how I want to do this. I really need to figure out which one it is. We can do a bit more because we know each of these lines are adding up to 15. So this has to be the 4. This 1 or 2 must be essentially the same as this, surely. No, it's not. 1, 5 is 6, so that would be 9 or 8, 9 or 8, depending on whether it's 1 or 2. 9, 8 are not available. That's a 7. That's the 8. This is now 6 or 9. Right, let's try this again. If this is 1, that would be, and this is 6, that would be 7. That would require an 8. That's not possible. If that's 2, sorry, let me try that again. If that's 1, if it's paired up with a 9, it would require a 5, not available. If it's paired up with a 6, it would add up to 7, and it would need an 8. That's also not available. So that's not a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 2, that's a 3. 2 and 6 are 8. This is a 7. We need a 14 in here. 5 and 9 are not available. This is 6 and 8. That's the 8. That's the 6. We've got a 2 in here. We need to add up to 13 now, which could be 9, 4 or 6, 7. So that's 4 or 9. Excuse me. No, let's try that. It's 4, 7. Both of which are available. We need to add up to 8 in here. 5, 3 is not available. 2, 6 is not available. This is 1 or 7. Therefore, this is a 4. And as a result, this is now a 9, a 6, to make sure that 9 and 6 add up to 15. What else do we know in here? We've got to finish the box, we've got another 1, 7 and 3 and 173. Got one more digit, the 2. 2's not up here. That's the 2. This is a 3-7 pair because, you know, we've got a 1 in here. That's the 1. That's a 7. 3-7. That's got to be a 3-7 again to add up to 10 with the 5 to get to 15. That's the 7. That's the 3. That's the 7. That's the 3. Fabulous. Let's keep going. 5. Well, actually, that doesn't matter if we ignore the 5. We've got 8 or 9 in here, meaning this is either a 6 or a 7. If it's a 6, do I really want to do this? No, I don't. That's 2. That's got to be 8. That's 1. That's got to be 9. That's a bit better now. Let's keep going. So we were saying this is a 9. This needs to add up to 6. 1, 5 is not available. This is a 2, 4. Got a 2 in here giving us the order. That's 2 and 4. This should be fairly straightforward to keep finishing from here. 8 means this needs to be a 7. It's either 1, 6, which is available, or 4, 3, which is also available. This is 3 or 6. 3 in here, this needs to be 12. It can be 3, 9. It's not 4, 8 because we've got 4s already looking at there and here. It can't be 5, 7 because we've got the 5s already placed. So this is 3, 9. This 3 tells us the order. That's the 3. That's the 9. That tells us this is now a 6. This has to be the 1, the 4. We need now a 3, 7, and an 8. That's the 8. That's 3, 7. Same trick up here. We've got the 3 looking down there. That's the 7. That's the 3. That's the 7. This is going unusually well for a willpower puzzle. So I'm still waiting for the second foot to drop where things go really pear-shaped. Right, 4 needs an 11. There's many ways of doing this. It's not 6, 5. 5's not available. It's not 4, 7. 7's not available. It could be 3, 8, yes, and it can't be 2, 9 because we've got a 2 in the box. So the 8 goes in here. The 3 is there because of this 8, or this 3. And that's all the lines done except for the orange lines. So this is from 2 and 8, isn't it? No, this is from 1 and 8. A 1 would be joined with a 9. An 8 would be joined with a 2. Unfortunately, there's nothing to disambiguate them at this point. Yep. Interesting. We need a 3 in this column. That can only be in here. We need 4 and 6 in this column. We've got the weird 1, 8, 3, 9 again going on here. So this is 1, 2, 9. And therefore this is 1, 9, 8. And that's the last 7 that we need in the box. 1, 2, 9. This is 1, 2, 9 again. What do we have going on in here? We need 1, 6. 6 goes there. And 9 it seems. We should know what this is. That's a 4. What do we need to do in here to finish off this box? We need a 1, 9 again. Right, there's a very clear theme with the 1, 9s and 2, 8s. This is 6 and 7. We know the order. That's the 7. That's the 6. Thanks to these 7s. Let me guess. Ooh, 2 9s. 2 would go with the 8. 9 would go with the 1. And again, continue with these pairs throughout. Hopefully this is all going to disambiguate at some point. So what do we need to finish off this box? We need this column, 4, 6, and 7. 7 is up here. This is 4 or 6. We do know the order because of this 4, thankfully. I'm guessing this is, again, the usual 1, 8, 2, 9. And we need another digit, which is a 3. And yes, confirmed by these 2 3s that it's not on the line. And it couldn't have been because there's a 7 there. That's the 3. Yeah, we're back to 1, 8, 2, 9. Except that's not a 2. That's not an 8. There's another 189 in here that we can't resolve. And there's another 129 in here that we can't resolve. We've got a quadruple. And the last digit of this box is a 6 to be placed. We need a 4 in here somewhere. With another one of these 1289s again. So how come I haven't resolved this? Yes, I actually have. I just wasn't paying attention. And therefore this is a 4 and this is another 189. Lovely. How are we going to disambiguate these? So I'm going to do something a little bit odd. I'm going to use a bit of color. Because this is either 19 or 28. And whichever one this isn't. So that would be red. 2 blues means that this is red. And therefore red is 19. Blue is 28. I may as well just, for my sanity so I don't make any mistakes, continue a bit of coloring in here. Yeah, these are reds. This is red again. And therefore this is red. This is blue. This is red. Yeah, solid. Right, we said red is 19, blue is 82, 8, 2. How did I end up with 2 blues? I shouldn't have. Sorry, 4 blues I should have said. And therefore this is, I said, 19. Yeah, 9, 1, 9. This has to be a 1, a 9, a 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9. That's the reds done. Need these to be done. Thankfully, these are a little bit easier. 2, 8, 2. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's the solve for today's puzzle. As always, Will, fabulous construction. Fabulous puzzle. I mean, it was also sort of fighting you all the way to the end, which I guess is, you know, typically what a Maelstrom does. You think just because you're not in the maw of it here in the middle, that the edges are going to be safe, but they're not. There is tons of rapids around it that can still pull you in. And it sort of kept fighting all the way to the end for sure. So loved it as usual. I hope that you guys have as well. And see you back for the next video. Bye for now.